So Project Equity is proud to present our inaugural Employee Ownership Inspiration Award this year. This award is designed to honor a business owner who has successfully transitioned their business to an employee-owned model prior to 2020 and has been a champion in advancing the concept of employee ownership more broadly. We had several amazing nominees this year, including Blaze Keeler with Electric Violin Shop, Larry Roadman with Margaretville Telephone Company, and Blake Jones with Namasté Solar. We appreciate the work of the nomination committee in selecting a recipient, and I'm thrilled to invite our committee member, Cameron Madill, to the stage to announce the winner of the inaugural Employee Ownership Inspiration Award.
This is the award. It's pretty heavy. We don't know what it looks like. So yeah, I've never done an award presentation. So it's Blake Jones from Namasté Solar. I'm just gonna start with the punchline. So I don't know if I should have kept you waiting, Blake. But it's a real pleasure and honor. Blake is someone who I've known for quite a while. He was quite literally my inspiration for converting our company to employee ownership. And I think he's a person who his whole career has embodied the double entendre behind Project Equity, right? Of equity in both senses. Of equity from a racial standpoint, from a social standpoint, of all of these systems and policies we have creating a world where inequality keeps expanding, but also equity from the standpoint of ownership. This belief that literally the more people who own things, not in the show it off on Instagram, but in a tangible ownership of an asset, the better off we will be as a society. Blake's a pretty amazing person because I think of him as having the energy and drive of some of the sort of entrepreneurs that become heroes in society. Elon Musk, maybe not so much anymore, but we have these Steve Jobs, Elon Musk, these figures who become so well known. And to me, Blake has all of that, that brilliance and that drive and that passion, but he doesn't do it for himself. Some of the things that you might not know about Blake, he's basically patient zero for the employee cooperative current effort in I would say the U.S. and I'm sure more broadly. I remember when our now CEO, this must have been a few years ago, texted me. She was reading Obama's book, A Promised Land. She'd underlined some section. And there was this guy in Colorado who had a solar, and she was like, "Is this Blake?" And I was like, "It's probably Blake if he's in Obama's book." And so Blake he was the founder of, and he still actively works in Namasté Solar, a 200-person plus employee cooperative in Colorado. Over 100 of those employees are co-owners. He also founded Amicus Purchasing Cooperative, which basically brought a bunch of solar companies together so that they could increase their buying power, which enabled them to deliver better, lower cost results to their customers, which allowed their customers to decrease their carbon footprint and improve their ROI on these solar panels they put on their houses. Blake founded Clean Energy Credit Union, which is, I believe, to my knowledge, the only financial institution where you can put your money and know that all of those deposits will only be used towards loans that support clean energy. And he's also the founder of Kachua Investment Cooperative, which is an amazing and innovative model for impact investing, but instead of sort of standard investing models, it's built on a cooperative structure. And Blake is not really driven by fame or money, or if he is, he's not very good at it. It's probably the one thing I would say he's not good at. And so I think I wanted to center in that. I know the best way to honor Blake is, as I said a little bit this morning, is in all this work that all of us are doing. That is Blake's cause, and I think it's not just the award itself, but centering ourselves in the importance of this work that we're all contributing to. And I think just lastly, I'm sort of paraphrasing from things I've heard Blake say, but Blake is just an avid believer in the idea that ownership in all forms, but especially employee ownership, allows us to be our best selves. It creates a more productive, fulfilled, engaged workforce. It creates greater, mental, physical, emotional well-being. And I think ultimately it creates better citizens. It allows all of us to engage in the practice of democracy. So I guess with that, I'd like to thank you all for the work that you're doing, and let's give Blake a warm round of applause. Ooh. Congratulations. You want to say a few things?
I think we're really lucky to have project equity, aren't we? Namasté Solar, like PixelSpoke, around 20 years old. And I remember when we started Namasté Solar, we didn't really know what we were doing. We were naive about employee ownership, naive about everything about starting a business. And we needed something like project equity. Luckily, we found the National Center for Employee Ownership. But now, fast forward, you look at project equity today, 10 years later, enormous team, tons of impact. And I'm just thinking about all the business owners who there's somebody to call, there's somebody to reach out to help them and give them all that technical advice they need for contemplating a transition. So really, really grateful for Project Equity that they're here, that there's a forum where a bunch of employee ownership enthusiasts can get together and talk shop and nerd out on employee ownership, because it's one of my favorite subjects to talk about. And thanks to everybody here for the work that we're collectively doing to promote employee ownership. Let's keep it up.